It is your search for happiness that makes you want what you want. It is your search for happiness that makes you even want to watch videos like this, to pursue teachings like this. It is your search for happiness that makes you do all the things that you do, even the twisted things that we do, even of all the dysfunction that you see play out on a large scale, on a collective level, is all just being done through the search for happiness. Although the ideas of what will bring you happiness may not be correct, making you do all sorts of things, but it is your search for happiness that makes you do what you do. And the problem lies here for most of us, that our search for happiness is entirely external. We look outside of ourselves for things and situations and experiences and people that we believe bring us happiness, that we attribute happiness to. And this is just a sort of a conditioned paradigm, because in truth, happiness is an inside job. Happiness comes from the self. It is the self. And what you're really seeking, right? Happiness, you're seeking your own self. And to really understand what I mean by this and why I'm saying this, that it comes from within, you can refer back to when you were a child and you received a toy that made you very, very, very happy, right? And now your desires are completely different. What you want has completely changed. So now let's just say what you really want is a big house because you're much older and whatever. So now if you receive a big house, that's what you create, right? And you're loving it. You're so happy. The object on the outside that you believe is bringing you happiness is different, but the happiness that you feel is the very, very same. See this for yourself. The happiness does not change in quality whatsoever. It is that same happiness that you received from that toy, that may be like $5 back then, and now you receiving this big house is the same happiness. Now see that if you received that same toy now, you wouldn't really be that happy. Perhaps you wouldn't be happy at all. Look deeper. Is it the object that has happiness within it? Or is it the meaning that you give to the object, the belief that you have in the object that allows you to be happy? Does the happiness arise from the object, or does the happiness arise from within when you allow yourself to be happy? You're sort of creating conditions to allow yourself to be happy. These conditions, right? Having this, or getting rid of this from my life, only then I can be happy. These conditions are not necessary, believe it or not. This is purely conditioned. You do not have to subscribe to this no more. And please clearly see that no object of the world is making you happy. See, you could want that big house right now, and you get that house and you are so happy, right? But see, if the happiness was coming from the house, then if it was coming from that object, right, then that object must have happiness inherent within it. And that object must make me and everybody else equally as happy if received. But let's just say you receive that house and you are so happy. Whereas let's just say I receive that same house and I'm not that excited, I'm not that happy. Someone else on the street receives that house and they're not happy at all. Someone else receives that house and they're even more excited than you are. They're even more happy. Does the object have happiness, or is happiness arising from within when you allow yourself to be happy. In this case, your mental condition to be happy is if you have this house. And you have so many of these conditions. If I have this amount of money, this house, if I can get rid of this illness or that annoying person, then I can be happy. And you live in these mental conditions and you give them significance, you give them meaning. The more importance and significance you attribute to these mental conditions, the more you allow yourself to be happy only if you have them, and the more you suffer and just constantly remain restless while you're pursuing these objects. All your life just becomes about pursuing these objects that you believe will make you happy. And notice what happens. The moment you do receive these objects, yes, you're happy. You allow yourself to be happy for a little while, but very, very soon, because of this tendency to believe in your mental conditions, this root problem has not been solved. So the moment you receive this object, you feel happy for a little while, and soon after, little do you know, more mental conditions arise. And this object that you received that brought you such elation, such happiness, no longer is making you happy, and now you believe in some other mental condition, and you're like, no, trust me, once I have this, then it will be fine. Look outward. Look at everybody around you. Everybody is in this chase, from one object to the next, to the next, to the next, all because what you want is to be happy. Happiness is an inside job, and happiness is very much present here and now as long as you allow yourself to be happy. And you cannot allow yourself to be happy so long as you are just dwelling in these mental conditions, and so long as you are just constantly giving reality to mental objects, physical objects. You must learn to wake up to a greater reality that is your own very self. Something that is more real than physical objects, which come and go. More real than subtle objects, thoughts and emotions, which come and go. Right now, your entire sense of being, sense of reality is just outward. It's just constantly going on to thoughts and emotions. It's constantly going on to the body. It's constantly going on to world. And you live in and you dwell in this sphere only, completely lost in touch with what you essentially are. And because of dwelling in this place where things are always transient, you just remain in restlessness, chasing objects which you falsely believe will make you happy. And this you call life. But did you know you don't have to subscribe to this anymore? Maybe up until now you didn't know there was anything better, but now you're waking up to these teachings, right? It's quite literally the self pulling you in, waking you up, showing you that happiness is not anywhere else other than within yourself. It is what you are in essence. And this does not mean stopping all activity. You see, you cannot even try it. You cannot even do it if you tried. The activity will go on. But learning to wake up to the essential self, that essential happiness, which is your very own being, now allows you to be within the transient without restlessness, without chasing, without giving reality falsely to things, objects which change, which come and go, appear and disappear. Now your sense of happiness, your sense of being is established in something more real, true, changeless, essential. And just like Happiness is not gained by any object in the world. It is also not lost by any object in the world or any experience that arises. It builds the capacity to be in even an unpleasant circumstance and still be happy. Not about it necessarily, but just inwardly being content, fulfilled, allowing even this to pass. As it has come, as it will go. Thanks for watching this video. Just 2 things before you go. If you want to learn how to implement the teaching that we cover on this channel in a step-by-step format and really develop your understanding of it in a faster way, make sure to watch my free 1-hour class that I'm offering right now. And second, if you want to work with me personally to help you dissolve mind identification and return to peace through self-inquiry, check out my program down below. It's called the Higher Consciousness Shift. Enrollments are now open, so just check out the details and book your free call, and we'll see if it's right for you. That's all I have for you today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.